Got you. Got you, baby. Hello, my friend. Perez Hilton here, the queen of all media, the original influencer, and your number one source for everything It Ends With Us saga. If you remember, I shared with you all earlier this month that the head of the agency that represents the Princess of Evidenceless and her husband, Ari Emanuel, had a lot of smack to talk about Justin Baldoni, who used to be represented by Ari Emanuel's WME, William Morris Endeavor, before he was dropped. And yes, Baldoni alleges in his lawsuit that Blake Hurd's husband, the very popular Deadpool actor, put pressure on the agency that used to represent him, but no longer does, to drop him. William Morris Endeavor still represents Ryan Reynolds and the hair care professional. So this smack talk happened on a podcast, sort of. It was a live podcast taping, and I shared with you all some highlights, but the podcast never came out. Allegedly, there were technical issues, and Ari Emanuel's interview was wasted. However, thanks to one very resourceful attendee who secretly recorded what Ari Emanuel was saying, we now have the entire section where he was talking about the It Ends With Us saga. So, some of this you might have heard before, and some of it is new. Let's get into it all. Remember, I told you all that the Plantation Princess's friend and head of William Morris Endeavor gloated about dropping Justin Baldoni as a client. He didn't even use that word. He said, quote, "I fired him. I'm a ride or die." The podcast host then said Ari just slit his throat. Ari Emanuel responded, "Bad situation that Baldoni, whatever his name is doing." Remember? Literally mocking the man's name. I'm imagining myself doodling on the pictures like I used to, remember? Oh God, I just ate. I had something in my teeth. You guys, you have to enjoy these. I enjoy this. I like the imperfection. Anyways, real mature. I believe everything that Entourage said about you. Also, not knowing or pretending to not know your former client's name, that's just bad business, bro. He went on to add that the situation isn't fair, claiming that Ryan and the former Keeper of Dragons, whom he's known for over a decade, are very successful in the industry, claiming that they've never had issues with people, lies, and are charitable. He then claimed that Baldoni and his producing partner Jamie Heath used social media in an evil way, based on the Beanie aficionado's allegations. Ari said, if what is alleged in her lawsuit that happened on social media just because she complained to the studio that things were unhealthy on set, that he was the director and this man, Jamie Heath, was the producer, and they did to her what they're saying in the letter, they're really bad people. And I know Blake, I know Ryan, they're excellent people. And some people might say that Ari Emanuel is a bad judge of people. I'm some people. He continued down this train of thought, saying, quote, "Now, social media is a really good thing at times because it lets people, stars, connect with their fans. But these two guys used it in an evil way, if that's true. And they should no longer be out there intimidating people, using social media now and trying to hurt them and using what they have been doing prior to it now to go against them. They should just stop since they think they're innocent and let the process play itself out. These are good people who've been doing good business for decades. They have never had any bad press about them, and all the people that work with them like them. The podcast host then asked the head honcho at William Morris Endeavor about the whole intimacy coordinator drama. The host assumed that he wouldn't take that kind of a job seriously, but Ari wanted no part of that, replying, quote, "This is actually not a joke. I mean, that's actually an important role. She felt that she was not being protected. She complained, and then these people tried to go after her. They should stop." When asked his role in all of this, Ari declared proudly, "I fired him. I'm a ride or die, and they're good people. Yeah." As I mentioned, this is all thanks to a leaked clip of the podcast interview. In an explanation as to why the interview never aired, the podcast host claimed that the theater's PA system had crashed before the show, though they were able to get it partially working. But at an after party, his editor revealed someone screwed up and the chat wasn't recorded at all. Oops. They tried to scramble and make something work, saying, quote, "Some friends who had been in the audience had already started sending in bits of video and audio they had recorded. At least one journalist had recorded the entire Ari Emanuel interview. Thank you. But it's iPhone on the lap quality, not radio quality. So we ditched that recreation idea." It's a podcast. It doesn't need to be the highest quality audio, right? I would have still listened to it. But something tells me that there might have been other factors at play for the interview not being out there. And it's still not out there. It's only out there through leaks. And they might get taken down because a lot of videos and accounts have been taken down recently. I'm not saying anything. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. Thankfully, I'm not represented by William Morris Endeavor, so I'm not scared of this guy. I'm not scared of that person either. I was trying to think of a name. I'm not intimidated by the self-proclaimed Cherokee princess. So, now that we've heard some extra bits from this interview, thoughts on everything that Ari Emanuel said, thoughts in general about the saga, thoughts about what I told you earlier, that Team Delulu has hired a new lawyer and a new crisis PR expert. They sense that their ship is sinking. They need extra help. They sense that social media is not on Amber 2.0's side. And Amber Heard really is a good comparison. After all the Johnny Depp drama, she's not working. She's not even living in the United States. Is a similar future in store for the up-and-coming wardrobe stylist? Or is the soon-to-be 40-year-old possibly heading to divorce? A lot of people have been speculating about that. Speculation. I actually think that all of this could bring the Nepo baby and her husband closer together. Lots to discuss. Let's get to it in the comment section.